Oh, I finally built the wonderful awesome sink. Now I can get all the coupons I want. Well, how the hell do I get points? Hello everybody, I'm Drawing Chaos here with another Satisfactory video. Hooray! And in today's video we're going over the awesome sink, as well as the awesome shop. Whoa, dude, my cup can like phase through this thing. Hashtag not real. So if you like what you see, don't forget to give the video a nice like. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments section. But let us begin. First off, for any new players or anybody that is just starting off in the game and want to know about the lovely Awesome Shop, here is how it works. You have your wonderful Awesome Sink right over here, and the Awesome Sink basically takes items and turns them into points. There's a nice little wiki that will tell you what every single item is and how many points you'll get per item. But also, one key thing to note about this is the more items of the same similar item that you put in there, the less points you'll get. If we look on the lovely list, we can go down and concrete is worth 12 points. After a while, it'll start being worth 11 points, and then 10 points, because we're constantly putting in the same item over and over again. So even though it says it's worth 12 points, the point system does go down after a while. So you gotta be careful on what you actually put in there. Another thing is, if we take a look at this, it says 1,000 points till the next coupon. Now, smart plating is 520 points. So if we take 2 of these, and we put 2 of them in there, that should get us 1,000 points. And we see the beast grinding. Or not, because there's not enough pieces in there. Congratulations, we have destroyed it. Now it's 520 points, and we see that the next coupon is also at 1,000. So there we go, we have 960. But wait, there's more. See, the first 3 coupons are worth 1,000 points apiece. So, if we take another 4 items, and we throw them in there, we can tell that that is 520 times the 6 items that we put in there. That's 3,120. So, the next coupon should be 880. But, when we go take a look at it, we can see that it's 1,380. Well, luckily for us, there's actually a nice little formula that is over here on the wiki that's easy to understand. I'm just kidding, it's not easy to understand. Good luck with this. K equals 0, 1, 2, etc. N to the coupon, whatever. So 3k plus 1 to 3k plus 3. I don't know. So basically you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everything's in groups of 3 to figure out exactly what number this is. Then we have the cost. 500 times k squared plus 1,000. If that sounds really complicated, just trust me, don't worry about it. It's not gonna be anything that you have to factor in, because you're just gonna be putting items in there. So the question is, what is the best thing to do to shove into the Awesome Sink to get as many coupons as possible? Well, there are 3 ways that you can actually get coupons fairly easy and fairly helpful. So step number 1 requires us to take a little drive. Say hello to a drop pod. Skirt! A drop pod is basically this lovely thing that just landed here, and it has a nice little hard drive in it. But one of the other things that it has is product just laying around for us to grab. Whoa, as well as some enemies that want to kill me. Back, I say, back! So while I'm completely invulnerable in this thing, let me continue my talk, apparently. So, as you can see right now, there is a ton of items just sitting here laying on the ground. Step number 1 is to grab these items and put them right into an awesome sink. Now, the pros and cons of this are you're going into areas that you wouldn't normally go into because you wouldn't have the right protection, but as you can see right here, you're also getting some of the really nice items you couldn't normally get on your own. But then again, there's a case of death that you have to worry about as well. But so what, Drawing Chaos? Who cares if I risk my life for all this wonderful stuff? What does it equate to? What does it even mean? Well, if you're lucky enough to actually grab a whole bunch of stuff, which is a lot easier said than done on some areas, the reward for it can be pretty swell. Here, let's go back to the base and check it out. Hopefully I can get back there before I die. Oh! And with my driving, that might be sooner than later. Bruh. Bruh. Alright, and we are back to the safety of our nice, wonderful base. But like I said, what does this all mean? Is it even worth it to go out there and do it? Well, let me show you something real quick. If we look at this lovely thing, this is a radio control unit. This needs aluminum to produce. And if we look at our ticket board, it's all the way here ranked at 33,000 points. And of course, if we click it, we can actually see that we won't get this thing until aluminum way later on. Tier 7 in bauxite refinement. So if we're finding stuff just littered on the ground that we won't get until Tier 7, what is this going to do for us? Well, I have reset my awesome sink over here back to scratch, and I am going to throw just these 5 that I just found laying on the floor. Away they go. What does this come out to? 21 coupons. That's right, you can find a ton of stuff just laying on the ground, and you can just throw those straight into the awesome sink. Now granted, you could save them for, say, unlocks in the hub, as well as building things when you get them later on, but by then you should be producing the stuff because that's when you're going to be needing it. It's much easier that anything that you find down, just throw it into the awesome sink. Come on. Just throw them off in the awesome sink and get those pints right off the bat. As we can see, I have 24 tickets off of 2 items that I just found lying on the ground. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, but that's all well and good, I know. And there are drop pods all over the map in so many different locations. But the real question is, what if I don't want to travel everywhere across the world just to get points? What can I do? Well, you can also throw basic items in there, like I could throw these right here. But as you can see, I'm not getting very many points on there. It's really taking a lot to make it worth something. So, what can I do? Well, that comes into step number 2. I want to show you a little hack, if you say. And it all begins over here. If we actually go into our equipment workshop, this nice little buddy, we can actually start making tons of different equipment, like, say, the Xeno Zapper, which is relatively cheap to make, but takes kind of quite a minute. Well, what does the Xeno Zapper actually equate to? Well, if we take a look at this, I'm at 9980. If I throw this one Xeno Zapper that took me about like 10 seconds to make, we can actually look over there and I'm down to 8,000. That one Xeno Zapper was worth 1,000 points. Now, let's say I put in a stack of 500 concrete. Well, we can watch in real time as I slowly lose my freaking mind at the amount of concrete going in there. But let me speed this up. And there we go, it's all gone. And we can see that we are down a lot of points. That whole stack was about 6,000 points. But as you can see here, it took so long for us to actually get that stuff through there, where the other thing took just a second. Because the way it works is, we have 12 points. That's how much points concrete is. And of course, we times it by the stack of 500, which of course is 6,000 points. But here's the thing, it took that long to get rid of that stack of 500, and if you go look in here, we can actually grab, where is it? A nice little constructor and put this down. What is the recipe for concrete? Well, the recipe for concrete is 45 into 15. So, Let's use our math. 500 stack divided by 15 would be 33.333 to get 500 a minute, which would get us 6,000 points a minute if we threw it straight in there. But that's 33 constructors. And then, of course, if you take 33.333 times 45, we would still need about 1,500 limestone just to make this work. Whereas instead, if you go over here and you go into your nice little thing, how long would it take me to make $6,000 worth of Xenozappers? Well, there's one. That's about 1,200. There's another one. That's 2,400. Oh my god, 3,600. 4,800. And there we go. I just made 5. Wow, that took me so long. Hooray. Right, Lizard Doggo? Oh, he just, like, pushed me. What a douche. And we'll put those in there, and there we go. Bam, I just got 6,000 points easy. As you can see right here, doing the equipment is so much faster, and if we look at the recipe for something as simple as a Xenozapper, we have wire, cable, reinforced iron plates, and of course some iron rods. That is 4 machines I can set up. Probably equate to about maybe 8 machines. So 8 machines, and literally I can put this all together in no problem. But wait, it gets even better. If you look up in the upper right hand corner, my objective is phase 2. Yeah, that's right. I am only on tier 4, ladies and gentlemen. Tier 4. This early in the game, okay? Let me go and show you the beauty that is the Xenobasher. If I make 2 of these, that's right, just 2. Oh my god, that took forever. Then I can make a Xenobasher. Well, if I have more wire. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Now, let's say I can make 1 of these now. Well, what is this Xenobasher that literally took me like 30 seconds to make gonna equate to? Well, our number to beat, 25,700. Ooh, that's a nice number. Let's put in Xenobasher. And there it goes. we are down to 7,000 points until the next coupon. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. The Xenobasher, that thing that took me 30 seconds to make, is all the way down here at 18,800 points. So if you are really close to your next one, this equipment is off the frickin' charts. And to be honest, there are some other ones that beat that even tremendously. Have you seen the Noblest Detonator? The Noblest Detonator, which needs encased industrial beams and cable, which should be pretty easy to make at this stage in the game, and some object scanners, but it needs about 5 of these object scanners, which also need beacons. So this is why this one is actually going to be worth so much. We need 5 of these object scanners, so that means we need about 15 beacons. Then we can make 5 object scanners, which still easy peasy, not a problem at this stage in the game in the slightest. And of course, we can make 1 Noblest Detonator. Do you want to guess how much this Noblest Detonator is worth? Do you want to even imagine how much this thing is worth? And it's gone. It's gone out of our inventory, into the sink, and we have jumped a whole nother coupon. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Xenobasher at 18,800 with the Noblest Detonator at 39,000 points. And that's not even counting like the hazmat suit, the gas mask, the rifle at 100 points, and even the hover pack at 413 points. So to be honest, if you're close to a ticket and you don't have anything else going into the system, equipment. It takes a little bit to make on your own, but it will ramp up your points tremendously and get you to the next ticket pretty easy. And they're not that hard to make, really. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on to tip number 3, the last one in the series, the one that I think you should do to get the majority of your tickets. Now, as we discussed, you can basically go around the world, grab a bunch of stuff, and just shove it in there. You can also go to your equipment workbench and then just shove that stuff in there. But for the bulk of your tickets, for the majority of your tickets, what I recommend that you do is space elevator parts. That's right. If we look on this nice little sheet, we realize that the majority of these parts don't really matter. There are a lot of like cheap stuff, like quartz crystals, Caterium ingots, quick wire. All this stuff is just basic points. The way we get into the big numbers is when we start getting into stuff like smart plating, one of the first tier elevator items you get. Then, if we go even further, we have automated wiring at 1440, as well as versatile framework at 1176. These kind of items are really going to boost your numbers because they can be made overall. So, let's come over here to my nice little starter factory and we see what we got going on. We have automated wiring, smart plating, as well as a versatile framework. And this stuff starts loading up quickly because if we go check in on the machines, we can see that some of these machines produce at like 5 per minute. Or if we go over here, this one to the nice smarting plating, this is 2 per minute. And of course we have automated wiring at 2.5 per minute. Now these numbers seem straight garbage. Why would I do this when I can basically throw in the other thing for 40,000 points? Well, one of the nice things about this is time overall. As you set up the time to hook up this wonderful factory to make these items, you're going to eventually not need them once the space elevator is unlocked. Sure, having a bin of these ready to go for when you need to go into the next space elevator thing is great, but coming up into the future, you're gonna not need these. So the best thing I recommend is going in and getting, like, say, a smart splitter for an overflow, or if you don't have a smart splitter, once one of these bins is full, take it and redirect it to an awesome sink. This will get you points overall. Being produced, and we have about 10,500 points per minute. Now that might not seem like a lot, but after a while, that's going to add up. Think about it. You set up this wonderful factory, throw the items in there, then when you go to build your next factory, let that one keep going. And you can do that with a lot of items that are building up overall. So if you have a huge factory that's building up items, throw it into an awesome sink. But the space elevator parts, those ones work out the best, because they give you huge points and you're not going to need them for anything else. Maybe come later along you're going to need some wire, and it's going to be great to have a machine that's already currently making wire and having nothing to do with it. Of course, that's up to you on which way you want to go. But I just wanted to give you guys some options and some cool ideas on what you can do to make tickets so you can have all the wonderful stuff in update number 5. And remember, this is all up to you, whatever you feel, comfortable throwing in the awesome sink, whether you want to save it all, whether you want to get stuff now or later, it's all up to you. But anyway, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you found this enjoyable, interesting, and I hope you learned something that you might not have already known. But anyway, that's going to be it. I will see you all in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye. Love y'all. I love these emotes. They're the best. Who wants to do rock, paper, scissors? You have no clue what I chose. Bye, buddy.